Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to this topic of a Doctor Who video. Now, the video, as you can tell by the title, is called Why I Really Want Season 20 Next in Doctor Who The Collection Range. So this season has been rumoured since the beginning of 2020, and because of COVID happening and all that stuff, with Mark Stretton being in New Zealand and he can't come over here to film the extra stuff like he did for Season 19 for some of the stories that he was in, like for the behind-the-scenes stories and that lot, and basically the behind the sofa stuff as well. Season 20, it is Sarah Sutton's last season as Nyssa. It gives us Mark Stretton's very first season as Tarlo. It also is the 20th season of Doctor Who, and it also has the celebration story, The Five Doctors, to celebrate 20 years of the show. So the reason I really want this season out on Blu-ray, it's been 6 years, technically, leading up to 7, since Season 19 came out back in 2018, in December 2018, that's when it was released. The same year that the very first box set came out for Doctor Who The Collection Range, which was Season 12. So this Season 19 was the second box set to come out. And we haven't really had a Peter Davison since 2018. Now, I have been talking to Peter Davison when I met him at Comic-Con this April, and he says Season 20 is basically on the way. It is going to be out in the summer, but we are in July, and we still had no announcement for Season 20, so I'm really hoping we get an announcement sometime this month, and then it gets released probably in August or September. Perfect time for the 20th anniversary, because it is the 60th anniversary of the show. It is the diamond anniversary of the show, I should say, and basically Season 20, it's an absolutely brilliant season. It's a brilliant season. It is my least favourite Peter Davison season, but it does have my favourite story out of this season in that season, I have to be honest with you. Also, it is the season that celebrates 20 years by bringing back some recurring old monsters and villains, and the return of some powerful beings, and of course, the Doctor's arch enemy, the Master, played by Anthony Ainley. So, this season we have 6 stories plus the 20th anniversary story in the middle, well, at the end of it. So, of course, we have Arc of Infinity first, which sees the return of Omega, and also it sees the return of Tegan after being basically get stuck on Earth after the events of Time Flight, and she goes, "Happy landings, Doctor." "Oh, hello, I thought you were going with the Doctor." "So did I." So we've got Tegan's return, and of course we have some great film location work in Amsterdam, and of course the Time Lords return since Season 15. So basically, the Time Lords haven't really been in the show since Season 15 in, as we all know, the Invasion of Time. And the Time Lords come back in this story, and it's actually quite a good story. I do kind of enjoy it. Then, of course, we have Snake Dance, the return of the dreaded Mara. Yes, the return of the Mara. The Mara was introduced in Season 19 through Tegan's dreams. In this one, the Mara is basically still living in Tegan's brain, and basically makes us type up the coordinates to the Mara's home planet so it can make its epic comeback. Then, of course, we have Mordrin Undead. Now, this one sees the beginning to Tarlo, who's basically been hired by the Black Guardians to try and assassinate the Doctor. And he does fail, and he does become one of the Doctor's trusting friends. And it also sees the return of Brigadier Alistair Gordon-Lipperstreet. Now, there's a little bit of a fact I want to say for this story. The fact is, this story was not actually written for the Brigadier, because they wanted William Russell to come back to play Ian Chesterton. But because William Russell said no, they got Nicholas Courtney to come in and do It's the Return of the Brig. And I have to be honest with you, even though the Brig does return later on in another story, his biggest return since 1975 is actually in the story, and it's absolutely worth a watch, because I do like the Brigadier, and I love the interaction between the Doctor and the Brigadier at one point, because he goes, Brigadier, Alistair Gordon, Lethbridge Stewart." He goes, "Do I know you?" "What?" And the Doctor clicks that the Brigadier doesn't remember him, and then of course he's there talking. He goes, "How's Sergeant Benton these days?" "And my assistant, Joe Grant." And you got the voice talking, and then of course you got that flashback scene where you kind of got the younger Brigadier looking around, and of course you see Patrick Troughton with the Yeti and the Salmon, and you got John Pertwee and the Daleks, the Master, in whatever happened in the Pertwee era, and then of course you have Tom Baker with the K1 robot and the Cygons. He goes, "So you've done it again, Doctor?" And he goes, "Pop." I really do enjoy that. It's absolutely brilliant. I have to admit, that scene is just absolutely brilliant. Then, of course, we have Terminus, and this is Nissa's last story where she goes to try and cure a deadly disease on Terminus. I would love to see Nissa return at some point in the show. I think it would be a good way. She wasn't actually part of the Doctor because in the Sarah Jane Adventures, they kind of hinted that Nissa and Tegan kind of got married. So I would have loved to see Sarah Sutton reprise the role in The Power of the Doctor. And then we have the series, the end, like this last story of the Black Guardian trilogy with Enlightenment. Now, the Black Guardian and the White Guardian basically first appeared in the show in season 16 to introduce us to the key to time. So the White Guardian sends the Fourth Doctor and Romana and K9 to go and collect the key to time. And of course, the Black Guardian's there at the end trying to stop her, and he goes, "Doctor, you shall die for this." And it took him an incarnation later and a couple of seasons to return to try and kill the Doctor by using Tarlo. And basically, he is defeated. And as the White Guardian says, the Black Guardian can never be defeated. As long as there's a White Guardian, there will always need to be a Black Guardian. So I kind of want to see the return of the Black and White Guardians in the modern era of the show. And then, of course, we have a good two-parter, The King's Demons. Now, the Master has escaped from Asirius with Chameleon. And, of course, he is shapeshift into King John. And you kind of have that fantastic mind power between the Doctor and the Master, where they've put their will against each other to defeat, trying to get Chameleon like to take the Doctor's side, and the Master's there going, "Kill the Doctor," like that. And I really do enjoy this story. It's a good, interesting two-parter. Now, talking about my favourite story from this season, the Holy Grail of classic Doctor Who is in this season. The Five Doctors. The epic story, The Five Doctors. What can I say about The Five Doctors? Well, it is honestly I'm going to literally pop that there because I want it literally full shown in high and glory. The Five Doctors, it is my favourite story of this season. It is my third favourite Peter Davison story, after, of course, The Case of Androsani and Earthshock. So what can I tell you about The Five Doctors? Well, it is a brilliant multi-Doctor story. Even though William Hartnell did pass away back in 1975, Richard Hurndall does replace William Hartnell for this one, and so you do notice at first that it's not really Hartnell, but I watched this as a kid. I mean, I think this was the very first Davison story I ever watched with my dad on VHS at the time, before my dad kind of got rid of all his VHSs when the DVD started to come out. Now I've gone back to collect the VHSs myself. I really do enjoy The Five Doctors. Now, what can I tell you about this story? What really makes me absolutely enjoy it? Well, I do like the fact we got the Doctor on the planet Eye of Orion, which has been mentioned in the show a couple of times, and it was even mentioned in Colin Baker's story, in a Colin Baker story in season 22, when Perry goes, "Please, if you're going to suggest the Eye of Orion, please don't." Ah, you're trying to tell me you're bored, aren't you? I could always set the course for Earth 1985. No. Like that. I really do like the way how the Sixth Doctor just mentioned Eye of Orion. This story also sees the return of the Cybermen since season 19, because this is when the Third Doctor does actually encounter the Cybermen. Now, the Cybermen never really got to meet the Third Doctor in his era, so I really do like the fact that in this anniversary special we got the Third Doctor encountering the Cybermen. I really think that's absolutely brilliant. Peter Davison is really, really good with Richard Hurndall. I do like their chemistry together. I really do like the fact we got Elizabeth Sladen back, and of course she and John Pertwee get back to the way the vibes of season 11 was. It does feel so much like a season 11 point of view, but it's after, because Sarah Jane basically witnessed the regeneration from Pertwee to Baker. She goes, no, it's you. Of course it's me. Hello, Sarah Jane. No, you changed. You become all teeth and curls. Yes. Well, maybe I have, but I haven't yet. Oh, I see. Actually, I don't. I really find that bit a little bit funny. And I do like John Pertwee with Elizabeth Sladen. It would have been perfect if it was the Third Doctor and Joe, because I really think that would have been more suitable. I would love to see Tom Baker return with Elizabeth Sladen, because I do feel Sarah Jane was more of a Tom Baker companion than for Pertwee, even though she was in season 11 with Pertwee before he goes off to regenerate into Tom Baker. Now, I have to be honest, Patrick Troughton's return since 1973 for the Three Doctors, and he's absolutely brilliant again, because the one thing about Troughton, he really takes the screen off. Like, he really gets the audience attention. He does get my attention where he walks in and goes, I'm sorry, sir, you're not allowed in there. Not allowed? Me? I'm allowed anywhere. And he walks through and goes, ah, Brigadier, good heavens. Is it you? Yes, yes, for once I was able to steer the TARDIS. And here I am. I really like the way he goes, when that sergeant goes, what the blaze is going on? Who was that strange little man? The Doctor. Who? I really love that bit. And you got the Doctor and the Brigadier kind of talking and goes, yes, 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 Doctor. Yetis and Saigons. Oh, and don't forget the terrible Sodin. Huh? Oh, she was just before your time, wasn't she? Yes. There ain't no more villains like her. What is it, Brigadier? I'm afraid our past is catching up to us. Or maybe it's our future. Come on, run. I really do like Patrick Troughton with Nicholas Courtney. I really like the friendship between the second and the Brigadier more than the way the Brigadier with Pertwee did in his era. I don't know what it is, but I really do enjoy like the teaming up between Patrick Troughton and Nicholas Courtney's characters, like the second Doctor of the Brigadier. I really love that. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why I do really want season 20. And now I have got a couple of reasons. One, to watch the 5 Doctors in HD. That is the one thing about this box set I can guarantee I will love about it, because it is the 5 Doctors in HD. Now, my favourite Davison story, well, my third favourite Davison story in high definition. What can I actually say about it? Well, it's absolutely brilliant. If I could say one story that really does need CGI treatment, I'm probably going to have to say none of them. All of these stories kind of had their own updated CGI effects when they was released onto DVD. The 5 Doctors kind of got 2 CGI effects, but I'm going to be honest, if we could get another CGI effect and have the 5 Doctors onto 3 discs, so instead of having it like onto 8 discs, make it a 9 disc set with the 5 Doctors, so you can have on one disc the original version. Then of course you can have the 1999 and the the 90s basically new special effects one, and then give us a 2023 special effects on this story. So you imagine the 5 Doctors on 3 discs. I would absolutely be in heaven. I would absolutely be in heaven, because it's my favourite story of the season. I do think Arc of Infinity, it is kind of an okay story. It's got some issues in there, and the problem is that with as with Doctor Who stories, you kind of get issues with some of them, you get issues not with some of them. And I really do think the budget was not with Arc of Infinity. But there again, though, the budget was actually there for the 5 Doctors to make it truly epic and awesome. So what would you want from season 20? What story would you like to see with the new CGI effects? Now, talking about the 1.1 surround sound, what story I could think could absolutely benefit with 1.1 surround sound? Well, I would say the 5 Doctors, but it's already got a 5.1 surround sound. So I have to say all the rest of the stories, bring it into 1.1 surround sound with the 5 Doctors, and that way you got a whole of season 20 on Blu-ray in 5.1 surround sound. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think season 20 should be next on the Blu-ray range after all these rumours? And how long do you think we will be until we get season 20? I'm hoping we kind of get an announcement during this month, and then it's released either August or September time slot. I really do hope. I know Peter Davison and Jeanette Fielding were saying at Comic Con when I met Peter Davison back in December last year with Jeanette Fielding, and they both were saying that the season 20 is coming out. It's going to be a summer release for 2023. But as I say, we are in July now and nothing's been said. I mean, literally the last collection update, well, the last release in the collection range was season 9, and that was basically back in March. So I think it's about time for season 20. So come on, give us season 20, BBC. Give us season 20. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe, share, and enjoy more awesome Doctor Who content. Have a cracking day tomorrow, you amazing viewers and subscribers.